Ever wondered how ancient empires controlled information long before satellites and supercomputers? The answer lies in the shadows, with spies who operated in a world where a single secret could mean the difference between victory and annihilation. Before there was an MI6 or a CIA, there were messengers, priests, and merchants, the unsung heroes and villains of espionage. The fate of kingdoms often rested on the whispers they carried and the secrets they uncovered. This is the secret world of ancient spies. Let's start with a classic trick: invisible ink. Forget high-tech chemicals. The ancient Greeks and Romans had a simpler, more organic solution: milk and lemon juice. A spy would write a message with this ink, which would vanish upon drying. To the untrained eye, it was just a blank piece of papyrus. But the recipient knew the secret. By carefully heating the letter over a candle flame, the heat would cause the hidden writing to oxidize and reappear in a brownish hue, revealing critical intelligence. It was a simple, yet remarkably effective method of secure communication. But what if you couldn't risk carrying a letter? In ancient Greece, they devised a truly radical method: human tattoos. A messenger, often a slave, would have their head shaved, and a coded message would be tattooed directly onto their scalp. They would then wait for the hair to grow back completely, concealing the message. The messenger could then travel across enemy lines without any incriminating documents. Once they reached their destination, their head was shaved again, and the secret message was revealed. It was a high-stakes, permanent, and virtually undetectable way to transmit intelligence. Long before drones patrolled the skies, ancient civilizations had their own version of airmail: carrier pigeons. Used extensively by the Persians, Egyptians, and later the Romans, these birds were the original unmanned aerial vehicles of intelligence. Secret scrolls, often written on tiny, lightweight pieces of papyrus, were tied to their legs. These remarkable birds could fly hundreds of miles, navigating with uncanny accuracy to deliver their precious cargo. During sieges and lengthy wars, a single pigeon could bring news that would change the course of a battle. In the vast Persian Empire, King Darius the Great understood that control required information. He established a formidable courier and spy system known as the King's Eyes and Ears. This network of agents was spread throughout his massive empire, tasked with a single purpose: to monitor provincial governors and high-ranking officials. They traveled incognito, observed local politics, and reported any signs of corruption, dissent, or rebellion directly back to the king. This shadow network was the backbone of Persian imperial control, ensuring loyalty through constant surveillance. Perhaps no ancient text understands espionage better than Sun Tzu's The Art of War. A whole chapter is dedicated to the use of spies, outlining a sophisticated system that feels astonishingly modern. Sun Tzu described 5 types of agents: local spies, recruited from the enemy's populace; inward spies, who were corrupt enemy officials; converted spies, or double agents; doomed spies, who were given false information to deceive the enemy; and surviving spies, who returned with intelligence. This framework became the blueprint for intelligence operations for millennia to come. How do you protect your messages from prying eyes? The Romans, masters of military strategy, developed early forms of cryptography. Generals commonly used substitution ciphers, replacing letters with symbols or other letters to obscure the meaning. The most famous of these is the Caesar cipher, named after Julius Caesar himself. He would shift the alphabet by a set number of places. For example, shifting it by 3 would make A become D, B become E, and so on. Only someone who knew the key, the number of shifts, could decipher the message. It's a foundational concept still taught in modern encryption studies. In the mystical world of ancient Egypt, power and information were intertwined with religion. Priests, as the gatekeepers of divine knowledge, often doubled as spies. They wielded immense influence, using their positions to gather intelligence within temple walls and from the general populace. They could manipulate politics through coded prayers, divine prophecies that conveniently aligned with state interests, and sacred rituals that were, in reality, conduits for passing secret information. They controlled what both the rulers and the people believed, making them some of the most powerful intelligence agents of their time. In the bustling cities of ancient Greece, information was a currency as valuable as gold, and some of the most effective spies were not soldiers, but courtesans. These women, known as hetairai, were often educated, witty, and moved in the highest circles of society. They used their charm and intellect to build relationships with influential politicians, generals, and philosophers. During intimate conversations and social gatherings, they would skillfully extract state secrets, military plans, and political gossip, passing it on to their patrons. They were masters of psychological espionage, proving that the sharpest weapon is often a well-placed word. Imagine you're a messenger carrying a vital scroll, but you know you might be intercepted. How do you hide it? Ancient spies used incredible ingenuity, like creating secret compartments in everyday objects. Scroll tubes made of bamboo or bronze were sometimes designed with a double layer. The outer tube would contain a fake, harmless document, a poem, a shopping list, anything to throw off suspicion. But hidden inside a secret inner compartment was the real prize, a small, coded scroll containing the actual intelligence. An enemy soldier might find the scroll case, read the fake message, and let the messenger pass, completely unaware of the secret they just let slip through their fingers. And if a scroll tube was too obvious, how about a fish? It sounds bizarre, but the Romans were known to use this trick. A spy would gut a fish, place a small, tightly rolled papyrus scroll inside, and then transport it as part of a normal shipment to the market. Who would suspect a fisherman's catch of concealing state secrets? It was a brilliantly smelly but effective way to smuggle messages across borders or into besieged cities, bypassing guards who were looking for more conventional hiding places. Of all the disguises an ancient spy could adopt, perhaps none was more effective than that of a merchant. Traders and merchants were the lifeblood of the ancient world, their caravans and ships connecting distant lands. Their profession gave them the perfect cover. They had a legitimate reason to travel to foreign cities, access to ports and markets, and the ability to interact with people from all walks of life. While appearing to be haggling over silks or spices, they were actually gathering information on troop movements, local resources, and political sentiment, all without raising the slightest suspicion. While milk and lemon juice were common, some spies resorted to more macabre materials for their invisible ink: blood. Dried animal blood, when mixed with vinegar, could be used to write a message that would disappear when it dried. This morbid ink had a special property. It would only become visible again when brushed with a specific chemical reagent, like a solution of copper salts. This two-part system, secret ink and a unique developer, added an extra layer of security, ensuring that even if the message was discovered, it couldn't be read without the right chemical key. Centuries later, in the mountains of Persia and Syria, a legendary group took covert operations to a new level. Known as the Hashishin, or Assassins, this secretive order trained its members in stealth, infiltration, and psychological warfare. They were not just killers, they were masters of espionage who specialized in creating fear and destabilizing enemy leadership. Their targeted assassinations of political and military figures became the stuff of legend, creating an aura of mystique and terror that served as a powerful weapon in itself. They were, in many ways, the precursors to modern special forces. As empires evolved, so did their codes. The Byzantine Empire, the successor to Rome, became a hub of cryptographic innovation. Scribes and cryptographers in Constantinople developed complex ciphered manuscripts to protect their state secrets. They went beyond simple alphabet shifts, creating intricate systems where Greek letters were replaced with obscure, custom-designed symbols. These codes were so complex that they often required a dedicated key or code book to decipher, representing a significant leap forward in the art of securing information and a forerunner to the complex encryption we rely on today. Halfway across the world in ancient India, spies were harnessing the power of nature in a truly poetic way. The Arthashastra, an ancient Indian treatise on statecraft, describes various methods of espionage, including the use of secret inks made from natural resins and specific plant extracts. One of the most fascinating of these was an ink that was said to be visible only under moonlight. This early form of photoluminescent messaging was perfect for nighttime operations, allowing agents to read and exchange messages in the dark without the need for a revealing flame. The world of Roman espionage wasn't exclusively male. During the turbulent final years of the Roman Republic, several noblewomen wielded significant power as informants and political manipulators. Women like Servilia, the mother of Brutus and a one-time lover of Julius Caesar, used their social connections and intimate access to powerful men to gather intelligence and influence political outcomes. Fulvia, the wife of Mark Antony, was another formidable player who actively engaged in political and military strategy. They operated in a world of seduction, rumor, and betrayal, proving that influence could be as deadly as any dagger. When a spy needed to carry a map through enemy territory, hiding it was paramount. Chinese and Persian scouts came up with an ingenious solution, stitching miniature maps directly into their clothing. A detailed map of a fortress, a mountain pass, or an army's position could be intricately embroidered into the fabric of a robe or hidden beneath a decorative patch. To a casual observer, it was just beautiful ornamentation. But to the spy, it was a lifeline, a hidden guide that was virtually impossible to find during a search, allowing them to carry critical geographical intelligence right under the enemy's nose. Not all secret messages were written down. In the Incan Empire, officials used a complex system of knotted cords called quipus to record census data, accounting information, and historical narratives. While most quipus were for administrative purposes, it's widely believed that a specialized form was used for secret communication. The type of knot, its position on the cord, and the color of the string could all represent coded information. Only trained officials who knew the specific system could decipher these knotted messages, making them a unique and effective tool for military and state secrets. Finally, the most essential skill for any ancient spy was the art of disguise. The ability to become someone else, to vanish in plain sight, was the key to survival. Spies mastered the roles of society's invisible people. In Rome, they might pose as wandering philosophers or beggars. In China, they could be traveling doctors or unassuming monks. By adopting a persona that no one would look at twice, they could move freely, listen to conversations in taverns and marketplaces, and gather intelligence without ever being noticed. Their greatest weapon was anonymity. From invisible inks to human canvases, the ingenuity of ancient spies was truly remarkable. They laid the foundation for the world of modern intelligence. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the shadows of history. If you enjoyed uncovering these secrets, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell for more stories from the past.